All right, you guys, hey, welcome back and welcome aboard. Step 3. Step 3. This is where the rubber meets the road. It is difficult, but not so difficult because it's more of the surrender stuff. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him. You know, this was my experience. Is on step 3, so I talked to my sponsor. We did step 1. I get it. I'm powerless. My power, I got a black trash bag. I got it. You know, step 2, came to believe in a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. You know, I came to believe that I need another power to deal. I came to believe I need something else. Got it. So step 3, I had called my sponsor and I told him, you know, hey, how's it going? He goes, okay, did you write down the 3rd step prayer 5 times? Yes. Did you memorize it? Yes, kinda. So he comes and he picks me up in his truck and then we go over to Burger King. And he got me a burger and he got me a pack of smokes and we go into the parking lot. So we're in this parking lot, we're in the cab of his truck, and then he says to me, okay, let's say the 3rd step prayer together. So he reaches over and he grabs my hand, interlocking fingers, and we're in the cab of his truck, and we recite the 3rd step prayer together, and then he lets go of my hand. And then he looks at me and says, now, I don't want you to go a day without saying that 3rd step prayer on your knees every single day. And at that moment, I balked. Because I'd known this guy a long time, you know, and I had just asked him to sponsor me, and I'd seen that he had happiness in his life, and that's why I'd asked him to sponsor me, because something was working for him. So, but I told him, and I said, hey, look it. I appreciate you taking time out of your day, picking me up, the smokes and the burger and stuff. But here's the deal. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in a magic man upstairs listening to all of our prayers and saying, I got good stuff for you because you do my will, and I don't have nothing for you because you don't do nothing, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I had prided myself in all these religions, knowing about them all, and just hokey it was. So I said, hey, you know, I don't believe in God, so I'm probably not going to hit my knees because I don't believe. So let's do the reading, let's do the writing, and I'll do all that stuff. But the God thing, let's just kind of, I'm down with keeping that out of it, you know. And, you know, at that moment, he'd asked me some questions. And he said, where's your happy family, Danny? They don't want nothing to do with me. Do you have a home? I'm at that rehab. Do you have a car? No. Do you have a bank account? Credit cards? 401k? Do you have any money? Oh, wait, you don't. I bought you cigarettes and a burger. And then he said, where's your key to any lock? And he goes, so just maybe the solution to your life is being presented to you right now, but you can't see it because you're so full of your own ideas, which gets you nothing but pain and fear and resentment and loneliness and lost. And then plus, he said, when you asked me to sponsor you, I asked you, are you willing to go to any length? You said yes. Were you lying to me? And in that moment, when I'd gotten out of prison and my mom had told me, you had made 1,000,000 promises and you've never kept one. I made this man a promise that I would go to any length. And I was bright enough to know in that moment that if I can't keep my word to somebody in this life, I am always gonna be a failure. I gotta keep my word to somebody. So I told him, all right, I'll do the knees thing, whatever, I'll do whatever, okay. You know what prayer is like? Prayer is like if I have this giant bowl of M&Ms and I take one M&M out of this bowl, do you notice a difference? No. If I take another M&M out of this bowl, do you notice a difference? No. That's why we stop praying or we don't believe in prayer, because we don't notice a difference after a couple of them. But day after day, upon my knees, praying to this God that I did not believe in, and I was very embarrassed to hit my knees. I didn't want my 4 roommates at that rehab to see me do this, and I gave a man my word I would do it every day. So I would hit my knees, I'd say this weird 3rd step prayer every single day and keep me sober, and then I'd get up and I'd just like, that was weird. I didn't feel it. I thought it was stupid, but I gave a man my word I would do it every day. So day after day, doing this prayer, one more M&M was coming out of this bowl, and another M&M, and another M&M, and another M&M. I kept doing this thing every single day, and I started noticing a weird, subtle change that started happening in me, and I started not tripping on things that I always tripped on. I started seeing things a little bit different. All of a sudden, sobriety wasn't looking so bad. Something started happening to me by doing these prayers. And the knees thing, I know the knees thing is weird, not everyone has to pray on their knees. It's not mandatory or anything. That was just the way that my sponsor had me do it. And now I've come to see that this knees thing, for me, my sponsor, if I think about jumping up and down right now, does anything happen? If I feel like jumping up and down right now, does anything happen? No. If I actually jump up and down right now, is something happening? Yes, it's an action. So the action of hitting my knees is a physical action of surrender, and it's very deep for me. But I'm not saying that everyone's got to hit their knees, but by doing this process, I came to believe, and something weird, some emotional energy kept getting removed from me. Like, I don't know what God is. The teacup of my mind cannot comprehend the ocean that is God. I don't know. But I know that I could take my teacup and fill it up. And I know that something happened to me by doing these prayers. 2 things people have been doing for thousands of years to improve their spiritual condition. Prayer meditation. People that pray all the time and hit their knees and express gratitude to the Lord Almighty know that it is badass and that God listens. They feel it, they love it, they listen to it, and they know it's great. People that meditate all the time and plug into the spirit of the universe of gratitude, joy, all creation, the energy of space and time, and they just fill themselves up with the joy of just being, know that it's badass. It works. People that don't do it, question it. Because prayer is like a muscle. Prayer is like a muscle that we use. Spirituality is a muscle, okay? At first, it's like push-ups. At first, doing push-ups, if you've never done a push-up, it's like gnarly. You can't even hold yourself up. You can't even do one. It's like gnarly. So we tap out. We're like, oh, push-ups are too hard. But prayer and spirituality is the same thing. Praying every single day, something happens. It says in our book that God does not place too many demands on those who seek Him. So by me doing this action of seeking God, even though I wasn't feeling it, even though I wasn't thinking it in the beginning, I kept doing it anyway. And something started revealing itself to me by opening up my heart, changing my being. Plus, my will made a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand Him. All I understood in the beginning was, as I understand it, I see some people that were as screwed up as I was, and now they're doing these prayers or the meditations and plugging into something that has a profound effect on their lives, and they are happy, stone cold sober. So I understand that whatever it is that they call God that they're plugging into is working, and that's all I understood. But I was willing to do something different. I made a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of direction, over to people that believed in this thing called God. And that's why I continue to do this thing every day. It doesn't matter what I think about prayer. It doesn't matter what I feel about prayer. It matters if I actually do it. That bowl of M&Ms, you know what that stuff was? Every day I was surrendering my pride, M&M. My ego, M&M. My fear, M&M. My judgments, M&M. My opinions, M&M. Every day I was doing that, I was surrendering this thing, my will inside of my head, because my will screwed me. It was clearly evident by all the devastation that I see around me and all my loved ones being hurt and then me hurting myself. I just knew that my will is crap and garbage. That's why I came to believe that I need something else. So that's the knees thing. I'm not saying it, you don't believe in God. Meditate. Say these words to life, the universe, love. I truly believe that God is love. It says it in all the faiths that God is love. Here's the proof of that. Every person that I know that prays on the regularly or meditates on the regularly become more loving. They begin to love themselves, the life they have, and they love the world around them. They become more loving, kind, compassionate. So the closer we get to our Creator, the closer we get to consciousness, the closer we get to God, the more loving we become. Because before, I didn't love myself. I used to think I liked myself, I loved myself, but I really didn't. I would never disrespect myself if I really loved myself. So it's just a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of something else that's not me. Something else that's not me. Because I screwed myself, and I kept screwing myself over and over again. I can remember when I was doing that third step prayer for a couple weeks, and I told my sponsor that I would do it on my knees every day, and I was laying in bed, and then I was like, I don't feel like getting out of bed and doing this weird. So what? Who cares? You know what I mean? No one's gonna know. And I'm like, I give my word. And then all of a sudden I got this gripping feeling inside of me that I don't want to do it. 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 I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to do it. Who cares? Who cares? I'm not getting out of bed. It's all warm in here. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I do not want to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't care. I'm sitting here. And then all of a sudden, I got this epiphany. Why wouldn't I want to surrender the thing that is destroying me? Why wouldn't I want to take the action to remove this thing that has just proven devastation and despair in my life? Why wouldn't I want, it takes 10, 20 seconds to do this thing. I gave someone, what is inside of me that is telling me that I don't want to do it? And then I recognized. They say the disease speaks inside of my head in my own voice. And there was this disease from the past, this thing that was pulling me back there because something inside of me wanted me to go back to the past and continue to relive the shame and the guilt and the anger and the fear. Like it was like it did not want to die. So it was darkness. And so when I was given the solution of the light, my darkness inside of me is like going, no, we don't like the light. No, we don't like the light. Hey, we got things to do. We're wasting our time here. Let's get the hell out of here. You don't believe in God anyway. So why are you doing this stupid stuff? It's not the way. And it would keep coming up in my head. And then I recognized that's not right. Like, that's not right. Something is wonky here. Why am I talking so much crap? And I see this beautiful man that wants to help me, and all he asked was that I do what was suggested of me so that he can show me that there's a beautiful life for me. Why am I rejecting this? Because my past did not want to die. The person that I was and had become didn't want to go away. And that was my ego, my pride. It doesn't matter if my ego and pride achieved millions or achieved zero, whatever. It didn't matter. My mind continued to torment me no matter what I achieved in this place called life, no matter what I had or didn't have, it continued to torment me. It didn't matter if it was right, if it was wrong, if it was what I wanted, if it wasn't what I wanted. It didn't matter. It kept giving me ideas about what I think about myself. And here's something else that always separated me from everybody. You haven't been to the places I've been. You have not seen the things that I've seen. You've not done the things I've done. So how are you going to tell me anything? How are you going to tell me that your opinion of this God is better than my opinion that doesn't believe? You don't know me. But the deal is, all that situations and circumstances might be true, but I know that you have felt the same way I have felt. So I read that book today, and every single person, it doesn't matter what their job was, it doesn't matter where they lived in the world, it doesn't matter. What matters is the way we feel. That's what matters. So the third step, turning my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand Him, it doesn't matter if you don't even believe. If you don't believe in God, meditate and say these words to the universe. God will not place too many demands on those who seek Him. And I came to believe by working this program, by feeling a different way about starting to love myself, the life I have, and the world that I live in. And then I've come to find out that God must be love, because the more I do of this stuff, the more loving I become. Step 3 is just making a decision and following suit. Following suit. and saying this third step prayer. Turn it over, give it up, and let another power flow in, because we're so busy in here, we're not giving any room to let God in. So therefore, surrender, bam, it's the greatest teaching of all time. Surrender to the present moment, surrender to life, surrender to goodness, surrender to love, man. Boom. That's the third step. Cool? I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps a little bit. Just follow suit, do whatever your sponsor suggests for you to do, and we'll see you next time on step 4. That's a big one. Have a great day.